Hello, dear students. Welcome back to Hybrid Learning. So, today's video is a continuation of the skills of scientific investigation. Today, we are going to learn the third scientific inquiry, that is correlation studies. Now, in the previous two videos, we have seen uh, the observational study and we have also studied about the controlled experiment, right? So, this is the third type of scientific inquiry that we are going to discuss today, that is correlation. Now, what is the meaning of this correlation study? So, correlation study means that there are two variables, okay? Now, in these kind of studies, the variables don't depend on one another. So, basically, we are not going to change any of the variable because as we saw in the previous video for the controlled experiment and for the observational study, in both of them, there were variables and we were trying to adjust the variables, right? In observational study, basically, we were just observing any kind of phenomena, that is the bigger phenomena like the population or the temperature condition for a particular climatic region. For the controlled experiment, we were actually controlling or manipulating one variable to understand the other variable. However, here, the variables that are there, okay, the relationship between the two variables in which we are going to study, the scientist basically tries to understand them without changing the relationship at all. So we will study with the data that we have received. Okay, so the correlation means that the degree to which the two sets of data vary together. So we are going to see how the data depend on one another and how they vary together. Okay, let's understand. Now, there are three types of correlation that we study generally. First is positive correlation, next is negative correlation, then is zero correlation. Now, in positive correlation, as we understand from the figure here, the positive correlation will indicate a direct relationship. Okay, this blue line, as you can see, it is the line of best fit. Okay, the square things that you can see here, they are basically the datas, set of datas. Okay, so we have an y-axis and x-axis. So there are some datas which has been plotted. Okay, now when we talk about positive correlation, positive means the relationship between the two variable will be directly proportional to each other. So if one variable increases, the other variable will also increase. Next is we have the negative correlation. So basically this means that there is inverse relationship between one variable and the another variable. So if one variable increases, the other variable will decrease. And the next is no correlation. So in this case, as the name itself suggests, that there is no relationship between them. Now, as you can see here, in this figure, the C figure, we have not drawn any line of it because the points are basically scattered, as you can see, right? So they are scattered all over the place. So basically, there is no correlation between the two variables. Okay. Now let us understand the correlation study using an example. Okay. So this table that you can see on the left hand side, it is the length of education and salary. So we have taken different persons, 25 persons, and we have taken their education year and we have taken their annual salary. And in the right hand side, we have plotted the annual salary versus years of education. Now, okay, if you think about it, okay, now without plotting the data, if you think about it actually, so what do you think that, okay, the people who have more formal education will have more salary, right? More annual salary. That's how we think. The more the education, the more the degree, the more the salary will be there. So basically, we will have a positive correlation as we studied in the last part. So we will have a positive correlation. But if you see this graph here, right? So if you see the best line of fit, you can see that some of the points are actually away from that, right? So like some of them are nearby, some of them are away from it. So why is this the case? Because some of them, okay, though they don't have so much of high degree, still they can earn good salary. Still they can have some good business or some work and they can earn more than those people who can have more education. So it is not possible that this relationship will be a positive correlation. So, like this, there can be a lot of examples in which we can think that it's a positive correlation, but actually it won't be a positive correlation. Okay, so what do we do for this case? So now we cannot have the understanding of a proper positive correlation. So we can understand about strong positive correlation and weak positive correlation. So in strong positive correlation, we will try to fit the data as per this line of fit. Okay. So if your graph, the data which you're plotting is coming like this, so that means maximum of the data points are fitting into the best line of curve. Then we can say it is a strong positive correlation. And we can say it is a weak positive correlation. In the second graph, if you see, the points are actually scattered. There are very less amount of points which are nearby to the best fit or to the best fit. So like this, we can study or we can have an understanding of the correlation. We can select it as per the strong positive correlation and weak positive correlation. So now there can be a lot of different types of advantages for this correlation study. So see, we don't have to do actually any formal experiment for this, right? We can take any others researchers' data and we can plot the graph and also we can have an understanding, right? These are the advantages. But there are a lot of disadvantages in this case as well. Because if we have to study, we need a large number of data. So we need more sample numbers because we need to produce the data. So we need large number of data, which cannot be possible for small cases. For small cases, we might not have so much of data. This is the first thing. Now, second thing, a correlation study actually do not indicate that how the variables are affected. Whether one variable is the effect or one variable is the cause, we are not sure about it. Like understand if you have like there is a city, okay. So now if we try to understand the number of earthquakes which have happened and the number of babies that have born in that year, okay, it is possible that both of them might be increasing at a constituent rate, but that does not imply that there is a link between both the quantities. It can be different. Okay, so we don't have a direct answer to the things that we are actually studying. Okay, they can be merely a coincidence, like the number of birth child and the number of earthquakes which are happening, they can be a mere coincidence. So that's again a disadvantage in this case. Second of all, the reports of correlation can be deceiving because sometimes you're taking the data from other researchers. So if you don't have a proper understanding of the data, or if suppose they don't give you a proper data, then it can be deceiving. So the graph that you are plotting, the conclusions that you are getting can be different from what actually the answer should be. So these are some of the most important disadvantages. So I hope you like the video. This is the correlation study and its importance. Okay, we have studied the different types. We have studied the examples. We have studied the advantages and disadvantages. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and follow us for more. Thank you.